Welcome to the inaugural Browns Roundtable. I wanted just to bring everyone together on my channel today. Just been putting a lot of mock drafts out there, a lot of Browns conversation with my blogs, but I'm sure you're tired of reading my words, so you might as well listen to me now. So thought I'd bring in two friends here. We're going to introduce ourselves here shortly. Kind of keep it open discussion. So talk about where the Browns currently are now, some of the trades they've made, some of the free agents, and then also get into what we think is going to happen on Thursday for the draft, which we have just as good of a guess as anybody. I'm Zach. I am the president of the We Bleed Brown and Orange Browns backers, but of course you know me on my own channel. To my right here is my VP.
I'm Jimmy. I've been a Browns season ticket holder for 11 years. Brought Zach down to introduce him to tailgating. So
it's true story there. To my left,
I'm Chad Packard. I'm over here. I met Jimmy and some of these guys down at tailgating as well, and pretty much following the draft. I'm not a season ticket member yet, but I usually go to a game in the beginning of the year and a game at the end of the year to see what happened from what I saw in training camp to what happened at the end of the season when things might not be going our way.
Not smart, but we'll get into that a lot later. Like I said in the beginning, we kind of want to talk about where we are now and some of the big moves that we've made. Obviously, we've all lived through many organizational switches and regimes, changes and all that stuff. My initial thoughts so far, we want to lead off with trades. I thought what the Browns pulled off was great, not giving up any of the higher picks that we have to acquire a lot of the talent that we do have. Obviously, Tyrod Taylor was a third-round pick that we gave up.
I'll jump right in. Sorry, Jimmy.
Go ahead.
I'm pretty excited about this whole offseason, actually. Tyrod for a third-round pick. You know, we gave up the 64th pick to get a starting quarterback who doesn't turn the ball over, who may not throw a guy open, but he doesn't turn the ball over, and we're going to play with that good defense that we've been drafting these last few years, and I think it'll continue as we get further in this conversation with drafting more defensive players to shore up any minor holes in the defense. So I think it's a great, anytime you can give up only a third-round pick to get a starting quarterback in the NFL, you're doing something right.
There.
No, I totally agree too. I like getting at least a veteran back in here. I mean, Kaiser showed some promise, but I just think he was thrown into the fire too quick again, and we don't want to do the same thing with whoever we get this year either. You need some kind of stable veteran there, and I think this was a good move, and I like it.
The next trade we want to talk about was Demaris Randall, which I thought was interesting with the context of the Twitter back and forth last year with Josh Gordon. I thought that'd be an interesting dynamic, but I think they've squashed that for the betterment of the team. As Jim just alluded to with DeShone Kizer and being in his second year, especially with the potential to grow in that position, I was a little bit shocked to see him go. And we'll get into the draft here a little bit more, but that's why I think we're not going to take an experiment quarterback such as Josh Allen because of just kind of repeating what you just had last year. So I was surprised to see Kizer go, but I understood why. A good cornerback who came into the league as a safety, so I think that'll be a good move to move him back to safety, especially at the lack of that depth of position right now.
As far as Demaris Randall for DeShone Kizer, first let me speak on DeShone Kizer. I think that he would have been better off sitting a year. Like all the rookie quarterbacks, even coming out this year, which we'll get to, I think they should all sit as well. I think for him it was a great opportunity to get a fresh start in a new city without any real pressure of all the fans that we've, and other teammates that he has issues, dealing with the pressure of not doing so well the year before. And then be able to flip a second-round pick like DeShone Kizer for a former first-round corner for Green Bay. Well, he's a safety. Green Bay played him at corner a lot last year. Anytime you can flip that and shore up that safety position and let Peppers in the box where he pretty much belongs. And if he doesn't work out this year, then you know that you can get him, you can move on from him, but you have to play him in his position. So it's almost a 2-for-1. You get a safety, and you get to move the safety who was playing, out in Lake Erie for most of the season up in the box where he was out in known. That's where that's where he excels. And I think that'll help our defensive line whether we go, we'll talk later about Chubb and all them other guys. Whether we go or don't go, putting him in the box and getting Myles Garrett, Agba, Trevin Coley, and Ogunjobi and them guys, and blitzing maybe Peppers a little more often or covering tight ends will help our team as a whole. So it's a 2-for-1, and you can let Demarius play back in free range where he's very comfortable.
Completely agree, Jim.
I'm with him on that. Amazing. Same thing I was going to say right there.
Greg Williams, hopefully these moves that we made so far, we'll get into free agency here in a second, but a big trade like this with a big name, know what he can bring to the table. Hopefully that instills a little bit more confidence in Greg, as you said, to not have the Lake Erie monster that is Peppers, and maybe he could be a little bit more up front. So the last one, and of course the biggest one, is the Jarvis Landry deal. To my own horn a little bit, but I really wanted him at the trading deadline last year. Thought that he would just be a great move for us, but I think it would have cost us a lot to get him. The way the contract negotiations were not going well in Miami for him, he was looking for more money. They weren't going to pay him that. They were possibly looking for a quarterback in the draft, which is going to take up some more money. So the fact that we didn't have to give up a lot for him, was a 4th this year and a 7th next year. For a talent like that, there was no doubt that we were going to do that. Now, he got paid, as we all know, but hopefully that locks him up, which then leads right into the next person we need to, which is Duke Johnson. So with that, your guys' thoughts on the Jarvis Landry?
Jimmy, I've jumped ahead, so go ahead on this one, so maybe I don't steal your thoughts.
You guys did all the research. I think it was a great pickup. I mean, right now you just look at our receiving core that's in place, and you just put, like, it's powerful. I mean, we're probably going to end up getting rid of somebody right now. If Josh King stays good and does everything good, you got Coleman if he starts catching the ball a little better, but the potential's right there.
Yeah.
But I think it's a great third piece right there for hardcore receiving.
Yeah, and to go on that, anytime you can get a premium player, who led the league in catches last year with 117, I believe, receptions, and he had a ton of yards. He kept the chains moving when maybe the rest of your guys couldn't. And anytime you can get your offense on the field more and keep your defense rested, Myles Garrett and those guys that can really pin their ears back and keep fresh, it's very helpful. Giving up only a 4th this year and a 7th next year, we had the cap space. Obviously, we haven't spent any in the last few years under the former analytics regime. And to Jimmy's point, he's going to take someone's spot. So the way we see it, all of us, I would agree, was you got Josh at the 1, Jarvis Landry, even though he's really a slot receiver, he's your second best receiver,
yep.
Assuming Josh can control his demons. And then you got Coleman and Duke Johnson, who can kind of battle for reps or whatever. David Njoku as your tight end. So that's a lot of receiving threats that you can, go to on any given down, and that makes each one of those guys harder to cover. You can't just double Josh Gordon because he's the only guy you have on your team. Right. You can't just putting a linebacker on Jarvis Landry or Duke Johnson, doesn't work. Like, bringing Todd Haley here will help those guys maximize their own potential within his offense. And I think is the biggest part of getting a big-name player like Jarvis Landry, other than the fact that other big names will come here now because you've got a front office in place and everything else. And we could talk front office later. But
we don't have enough type camera for that.
We don't have enough space for that. But, that's the big thing I see out of that. And getting Duke Johnson, his long-term contract, I don't know if there's been a better player that we have underutilized in the league. And I hope Todd Haley coming in will, bring that to his offense. He's played against us 2 times a year, every year for the last few years. And he knows what Duke's capable of even before joining our staff. So I think that'll be good too.
Yeah, two points I wanted to just elaborate on that you brought up. First and foremost, I don't know if I see Landry, although he's our second best player, as an outside guy. I think he'll be more dynamic on the slot. But to your point, you don't have to limit him. He's such a great player. He can be same side as Josh. He could be opposite. Right. That's why I think we need to go get one more name. I really wanted Pryor. It's a different story for a different day. But I agree, his talent, you can put him wherever you need to. And what you brought up about Todd Haley, I'm not making the comparison that Landry is Antonio Brown, but the dynamic that Haley's been successful everywhere he's gone with a receiving core. So now you've brought him a Antonio type talent that he had that along with never having a Josh Gordon type before. So that combination is going to be great. And I hope that Coleman stays healthy because he could be a utilized slot guy like Juju Smith-Schuster was for Todd Haley. So I think the acquisition of Haley is just as important as a Jarvis.
Definitely takes the pressure off Coleman for himself.
I agree.
It just it smooths everything out. He's good. He's gotten much better in route running. I'm sure he'll be on the jugs machine a lot after how the season ended for him last year. He'll wipe the slate clean, and we'll go from there.
You had to bring that one up. That one stung a little bit. But
keep showing it.
But to Jim's point too, Coleman may not be here. This move for Landry may have been a power move to show Coleman either figure it out or ship out. So I hope that's not the case. Njoku, I'm a big fan of, but even he had some crucial drops in that Green Bay game. He catches that ball, we win. Mm-hmm. But we were all there. We all saw 0-16. Yeah. We're not going to bring those up. Okay. So, what'd you think? As you guys just saw, we did current status of the Browns as well as trades. for our first segment. What I want to do is break up the roundtable into 3 individual videos. So today's video, Tuesday, you watched us, as I said, current status and trades. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about the free agent acquisitions that we have. We're going to do our top 3/top 4, or 3 and a bonus. And then on Thursday, the big day, the important day, we're going to tell you who we wanted in the draft. We're going to do just the first 2 rounds and whatever picks that dictates. Maybe that's a little bit of a hint. I hope you guys liked it. Comment down below if you did. We just had a lot of fun with this. So with that, we'll catch you on the next one.